Hi, this is Marsha.
And this is Kelly.
We are the 2U's of 2U's Fiber Adventures. Thanks for stopping by.
You'll hear about knitting, spinning, dyeing, crocheting, and just about anything else we can think of as a way to play with string.
We blog and post show notes at 2usfiberadventures.com.
And we invite you to join our 2U's Fiber Adventures group on Ravelry. I'm 100 Projects.
And I am Better in Motion.
We're both on Instagram and Ravelry, and we look forward to meeting you there.
Enjoy the episode. Good morning, Kelly.
Good morning, Marsha. Are you recovered from Thanksgiving?
No, I'm not. I'm still in recovery. I'm a little exhausted. Well, the thing is, okay, you knew this, but all day was, of course, for people who are not in this country, Thanksgiving, it was on Thursday. Friday, the day after Thanksgiving, typically, it's a day of eating leftovers. So everybody came back to eat the leftovers. So I had just gotten the kitchen cleaned up when it took that long to get everything washed up. When people came back over to, I had to start reheating things to eat dinner. And my kitchen's a mess again because I was so late getting everything cleaned up that I ran the dishwasher really late. And when we were done with dinner, it had finished washing, but it was too hot, to take. Well, Kelly, you don't have you are the dishwasher.
Yeah, but I know we used to have a dishwasher.
But when you dishwasher, you have to let it cool down before you can take things out of it. They're just too hot. So, and we're recording early enough in the morning that I have not gotten down there to empty the dishwasher, to put all the dishes from last night in the dishwasher. So they're all sitting on the counter. Oh, well, no little elf is going to go down there and take care of it while I'm gone. They'll just be waiting for me when we're done recording.
Right. That's exactly right.
Anyway, but it was a nice holiday. It was fun. Did you have a good time with because I know you always have, a pretty big group that comes over. Right?
Yeah, we had 10 this year. Mm-hmm. Only one of the 3 nieces was able to come. My sister's up in Washington now, so she and Ron weren't there. So the group has gotten smaller. Mm-hmm. But it was nice. We all fit at one table this year.
That's nice.
We didn't have the 2 tables, so it was definitely a smaller group, and everybody was gone by 7:30. Because we eat early. I shoot for dinner around 3:30, and usually get it on the table by 4. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it was a quick, people arrive around 2. So, but by 7:30, everybody was gone, and there's not a whole big crowd to help me with dishes like there had been. And Aunt Betty said, "Oh, I didn't do any of the cooking," which is not true. She made pies, but she said, "Oh, I'll do the dishes. So get out of here. I'll do the dishes." And so I went and sat in the other room and worked on one of my projects. And then, as she started to slow down, I could tell she was like putting stuff away. I went in and started doing some of the washing, and got it mostly all washed except a couple of pans that I let sit overnight. And then I went to bed. I was like, okay, I've been on my feet all day. Because I was pretty much on my feet all day, yeah.
Yeah. You had a eat it and beat it holiday. Eat your food and go home.
Yeah, yes. Eat it and beat it, yeah.
Well, I have to tell you one thing that was funny. Because I called you that morning, Thanksgiving morning, because I had to figure out the timing on my turkey.
Mm-hmm. The annual phone call.
Really, a turkey.
That's what you said in your text, or in your message.
Well, and as we've talked about, I only make a turkey once a year for Thanksgiving. I don't cook a whole turkey any other time of the year. Mm-hmm. And it is basically just a big chicken, right?
Yeah.
Also, it's kind of, I don't know, it's... Sometimes I just need to, I don't know, you're maybe the same way too. You just need to talk it through with somebody. Mm-hmm. Talk it through. Anyway, but I have to tell you, the funny thing is, I believe last year I went to PCC, Puget Consumer Co-op here in Seattle, to get an organic, free-range, some exotic turkey that was supposed to be so great and, humanely, blah, 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 all this kind of stuff. And that turkey was $100.
Yeah.
And terrible. I didn't think it was very good. So this year, I bought a turkey, and everybody raved about the turkey. And my brother said, "This is the best turkey you have ever made." He said, "It's so good. It's so moist and it's flavorful and all this stuff." And everybody went on about it. And I didn't say anything until the next day my brother came by, and I said, "Okay, I'm going to tell you what that turkey was, a butterball turkey." It was so good, probably because I don't know how they're processed, but I think they must inject them with
salt water
or something. I don't know, but everybody said that turkey was the best turkey they ever had. So there you go.
Yep.
I'm like an ad for Butterball.
Well, and
it was on sale. I think it was $1. It was normally $2.99 a pound, and it was $1.99 a pound. And apparently they were less expensive, like at Costco and Trader Joe's. I don't think they had Butterball at Trader Joe's, but I think it was $40 for this turkey as opposed to $100.
Yeah.
And I feed a lot of people these days, so I'm sort of being a bit more careful. But anyway, it cracked me up. That was my dirty little secret. It was not the fancy organic, free range, massaged, milk bath.
Oh my gosh.
Champagne swilling chicken named Jonah or something, or Jeff. It was just a butterball turkey.
Oh gosh. Yeah. Well, and
anyway,
I was talking at work with people, and I would say, I'm cooking Thanksgiving dinner. Oh, do you brine it? Do you deep fry it? Do you use what kind of rub do you use? Like, I cook it according to my Fanny Farmer cookbook. Yeah. I basically put a little salt and pepper and thyme or sage on the skin of it. And if I remember, I put, if I happen to remember while I'm in the kitchen, I'll put a little butter on it. Mostly just because I like doing it. It doesn't change anything if you baste it with butter.
It feels like you're adding to the cooking. You're helping making it special somehow by basting it with butter.
But the years I forgot, it tastes the same. Yeah. I did cheat this year. One of my former colleagues from work, had called about a plant question and was talking about the mashed potatoes are already made and they're going to go in the oven to reheat. And I thought, you know what? I think I'm going to do that. That's a really good idea, because I'm always mashing the potatoes at the very last minute, feeling rushed. I'm just that's going to be one less thing I have to do at the very end. And so I did it, and what a great idea. I will do that again from now on. It felt a little bit like cheating, but they tasted fine. And anyway, I just reheated them in the oven, and they were great. So made 3 types of cranberry sauce.
And of course, you made the Mama Stanbergs.
Right?
With the horseradish.
Yeah. And then I made one with figs. Robert picked some figs from the tree, and so I made cranberry fig. And then the other one I made, it was supposed to be vanilla bourbon cranberry sauce. This is a recipe that one of my nieces made this cranberry sauce one year, and I really thought, oh, this is interesting. It's very, very vanilla flavor. So I'm making it, and I put in the sugar. I think, I'll use brown sugar instead of white sugar. That sounds like it would go well, Put in the bourbon. And then I go to get the vanilla, and I have like 3 drops of vanilla in the container. So I swished a little water in it, poured that in, getting the very last of the essence of the vanilla out. And I thought, well, that's all the vanilla that I get. And so it was much more tart than usual, but it was good. I mean, I did like it. Yeah, it was a fun holiday.
Yeah.
Nice to see everybody.
Yeah, it was, we had a good time.
Yeah. It's a fun start to the holiday season, right? So, yeah. So, shall we talk about projects?
Yes, we should. Let's get off Thanksgiving.
Okay.
And let's talk projects. So, okay. I don't have a whole lot to report. I think I say that every time, but anyway, I finished the body of the emotional support chicken, the one I'm making for Ben. That's going to be the climbing chicken. And I just have to, and I've sewed the body together, put the eyes on, and I did something different with the eyes, Kelly, because the yarn is quite dark. It has a lot of like blacks and browns in it, and then jewel tones in it. And the black eyes didn't really show very well.
Yeah.
So I took white felt and cut a circle, and then so it makes it like the whites of the chicken's eyes. If chickens have whites of their eyes, I don't know. So they kind of stand out, the black on the little white background, then onto the knitted fabric. So I did that. And so she's stuffed and sewn together. I have to make the wattle and the comb. I still have to do that. And I've been making a rope, a climbing rope out of I couldn't remember the name of the thing, but it's called a French knitter that makes that kind of knitted rope.
Oh, right. Like with the nails on a spool.
Yeah. So I've done maybe a yard. I think I'm going to do a little bit more because I kind of want to be able to loop several loops around her neck so it looks like or bundle it up the way Ben ties up his climbing ropes. And then I'm going to make the next thing I have to do is I decided I wanted to sew her together to figure out how big her head is. So then I can I'm going to knit a little hat for her and knit a little chalk bag.
Oh, that'll be cute.
I don't remember if I mentioned this the last time, but the new sewing machine that I bought has an embroidery feature, and I'm going to see if I can just embroider chalk on a piece of fabric and then sew that onto the little chalk bag, so he knows it's a chalk bag. I don't know.
Oh,
play around with
cute.
The machine.
That'll be fun.
So it's coming along. I mean, I have to say. For the last week, I really have not gotten a lot done because there was a lot of holiday prep. You have to clean the house and clean the bathrooms and go get the groceries and then panic and then talk yourself down off the ledge and then
and then go lay on the bed.
Go lay on the bed. I did a lot of laying on the bed. Anyway, then Graphito, I have not even picked up Graphito. And the last time we talked, I said I want to put it on waste yarn or the try it on tubing. I kind of wanted to wash and block it, but even if I don't do that, I need to try it on, make sure I'm on track, that it fits right, and I haven't missed any stitches. So maybe today, we'll see. I don't know, this weekend.
So when you do that, I have an idea because I have to do that too.
Oh, yeah?
When you do that, take a picture and I'll send it to me. And I'll put mine on try it on tubing and take a picture. And then I'll put the two pictures, like you do a collage with the two pictures side by side. And I'll post it.
Okay.
Because we are trying to get more people to make this pattern. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's get this pattern on hot right now.
Yes. Okay. Well, I'll do that. I'll
us posting both our pictures, trying it on is going to make that happen. But
really.
It just kind of gave me a chuckle when you said that. Like, okay, I have to do that too. Let's get a picture together. Our matching graphitos.
Okay, I'm listening, but I just by mistake I'm working on a pair of socks and I pulled the needle out. It's like, okay, I've got the stitches all back on now. I'm listening. I'm paying attention. Yes, I will take a picture of it and send it to you.
Plus, it will spur me to get mine tried on so I can put it back in the lineup of things I'm knitting on.
Well, and the other reason I want to try it on to make sure it fits properly. I want to make sure that this really be able to spread the stitches out so I can make sure I did not make any mistakes before I do the entire body. Mm-hmm. And the other thing too is that it says that you knit 10 inches down from under the arm down for the body, and then do the ribbing, which is 3 inches. So the total body length will be 13 inches, which I think might be a little short for me.
Yeah.
And so part of the reason I'm not knitting on it in the evening is I have to try it on, because if you do want, and you probably remember this from when you working on your pattern, if you want to increase the length, you don't want to do it all at the end because you have stripes going through. So they said just based on your row gauge, you would add extra rows in between the stripes, the contrasting color stripes that go around it, if that makes sense. So I really kind of need to know if I need more than 10 inches before I start the ribbing. Because, you know, you don't know where the armhole falls on your body. So a total length of 13 inches may be okay depending on where the armhole. If it's really high up, it's not going to be enough. But if it's really low, anyway, I just need to try it on. So hopefully that'll happen in the next couple of days. And then I was working on the Ames Beanie last time, but I started the decreases and noticed that I had one of the cables going the wrong way, so I have to correct that. I have not picked that up either. So there's not much I've done since we last recorded. I did finish the first sock, and I realized I had the wrong information here. It was from another pair of socks I finished 6 months ago, so I corrected it. So it's now linked to the correct sock, but I'm using Regia by Arna and Carlos in the colorway. I love this. I put this in here, Kelly. The colorway 03760. It doesn't have a name. And I believe this is yarn I got from last April at the D-Stash room at Knockers. And it's kind of, it's red and kind of a gray blue and kind of a very light sort of teal gray kind of, and then just gray. They kind of look like Christmas, even though they're not really Christmas colors. They look kind of like Christmas to me. But anyway.
Yeah.
So I finished the first sock, and now I just cast on this morning so I'd have something to knit on while we were talking. So I've working on the ribbing. I have maybe another 4 rows, and then I'll just go to stockinette. And then weaving, I got the warping board back from Kim. She had borrowed it, and I've got that back. And every day I think I'm going to go down there and warp, but there was Thanksgiving. So now that's done. I was going to work on it yesterday, but too much cleanup. So today, after recording and Enzo's walk, I'm hoping to warp, wind the warp. And I have, the last time I talked about this, I have cleaned up the room, moved all of Ben's stuff into the closet. He's come by and taken some things, but I decided I just need to warp the loom and start and not worry about making the room perfect. It will happen when it happens. I just need to start weaving. So hopefully I'll get that warp, or at least start winding it today. And I think that's everything project-wise that I'm working on.
Okay.
I don't think if there's anything else. I think that's everything, in terms of fiber. I did make a project page for the weaving studio. And then also, the last episode, I was talking about the wall sconces. And people would like a picture. So I will take a picture of I don't think I have a picture of the before wall sconces on the installed. But I can take a picture of the old ones that came down because I still have them, and then I'll take a picture of the new ones with the grape clusters. I'll put that in the show notes, or I'll put it in the discussion thread of the last episode, because that's where the question was that they wanted to see what the wall sconces look like. So I'll do that.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. So, all right, and how about you?
Well, I am almost finished. Or maybe I am finished with the woven squares blanket. So when I made the show notes, this morning, I said it was almost finished because I had ends to weave in. But while we chit-chatted before we started recording, I ended up weaving in all those ends. So the only ends I had left were the ones around the edge because I had been trying to weave them in as I went along. And so I'm finished. Or what I'm not sure about is maybe do I want to make a crochet edging? I haven't decided.
Oh, okay.
And I need to look in my stash.
Now, and why would you do the crochet edging? Do you think it just makes it look more finished?
Just to give it a border, yeah. I mean, I don't know that it'll look more finished, but like quilts have usually there's an edging, right? So that's what I was thinking. Yeah, I don't know.
That'll be nice.
Something to think about. I think I'll look in my stash and see what sock yarn I have, because I think if I did a crochet edging, I would need a full skein of something. And I might have a full skein of something that I can use. So I'll see. I can try it, and if I don't like it, I can take it out, right? I mean, it's not like a crochet edging is permanent. I can get it started and then see. The edges look pretty nice. I mean, they're pretty even. It's not like I have, really wobbly edges. But I don't know. I just thought, well, maybe it'll be nice to have a little edging. So, as for sewing together all the squares, it's 14 by 20. So 280 squares, all finished. And I really like it.
Nice.
I really like it. I think I'm going to probably find, as I'm using it, this end came unwoven, popped out, or maybe there'll be little ones that I didn't notice that I hadn't sewed in. Little, for some reason I had some small ends that I was finding this morning, because I thought I had left long tails on everything, but it may be that I did leave long tails on everything, but then I had one that I never clipped. And it really is woven in. It just looks like it's coming out of the corner. Like maybe it was woven down the edge or something. So I may have some of those that I have to deal with, but yeah, it's finished. Little more than a year.
All right.
It was a lot more
Not too bad.
No, not bad at all. It was a lot more fun to make the squares than it was to weave or to sew them all together. But even that, I have to say, I do enjoy hand sewing. And so once I got going, it just seemed like a very daunting project with all of those, 20 strips. Well, first I had to sew it into strips, and then I had 20 strips to sew together. So sewing the strips together was, by that time it was a little daunting because it was it was a long strip. And like I said, I was sewing strips with the tails so that they could then be woven in nicely into the square.
Yeah.
Because it didn't really matter. It didn't really matter what I used to sew them because I used mattress stitch. So it's pretty invisible. If you use a kind of a neutral yarn, it's pretty invisible. But then when you get to the end and you need to bury your, if you want to bury your end into the weaving, needle weave it in, it needs to be a color that's gonna fit, right? So
blend, yeah.
Yeah. So I tried to sew them with the tails. I ended up not always having the tail in the right place to sew them together. Or sometimes I didn't have long enough tails. When I first started, I wasn't really thinking about how I was going to sew them together, and so I didn't leave long enough tails on some of the squares. And also, I'm used to yarns that sort of felt, and these are mostly superwash. So I think I might find myself with little ends sticking out that don't that don't really embed themselves because they're really not sticky wool. So, but I'm really happy with it. I love how it looks. It's so bright. It's got lots and lots of bright colors in it. So, so that's finished, or maybe not finished, depending on whether I decide to put a border on it. And then I also finished the Swint bath project.
Oh, okay.
So,
and what's the report on the difference between the two?
No difference. No difference.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So,
okay.
If you look on the project page, you can see the difference you can't really tell the difference in color of the yarn from the bobbins. A little bit, but you can definitely tell the difference in color of the yarn when I have the two unwashed skeins next to each other before I wash them. But once I wash them, now you can't really tell the difference. The only thing I would say is that when, at least for me, spinning in the grease, the default spin is a little bit thinner. You can get a little bit thinner because the yarn is sticky, the fiber is sticky. But even with that, once you wash it, it puffs up. Maybe the one that was unwashed and spun kind of in the grease is a little bit thinner, a little bit finer. But when you put the two skeins together, I think you'd be hard pressed to really tell that. So anyway, I like the swim bath technique. I don't think I'll do swim bath and then not wash it. If the fiber is sticky afterwards, greasy afterwards, I think I'll go ahead and do one. It only took one wash to get it clean, which is an improvement. So, and if you had a really clean, this one was not a super clean fleece. It was nice, but it wasn't super clean. If you had a super clean fleece, spinning it in the grease would be nicer. This one was a little, there was still, the thing about spinning in the grease is that any veg matter sticks, and some of the actual dirt, like grains of dirt stick, to the grease. And so it wasn't as clean as if it had been cleaner to begin with, the Swint bath might have worked a little bit better. But I'm going to do the cold soak, and maybe it wasn't a full Swint bath really. It smelled terrible, but maybe it wasn't fermented quite right. But I am going to do the cold soak, long-term cold soak on fleeces in the future, because it does cut back on what needs to be done. What needs to be done when you're actually washing it. So anyway, so that project is finished. It was pretty fun to just, it's I still have a lot of that fleece left, but I've got two nice skeins of white Shetland, very shiny. I took a picture of it this morning. I haven't put in the project pages yet. But it's super lustrous, really shiny. It was a shiny fleece, and it made into shiny yarn. Nice. Yeah. I've also been doing
very interesting experiment.
Yeah, it was kind of fun. And then the other thing I've been doing with fleece is I have that CVM, and I think I said I bought it in 2017, but I checked today and just double checked today, and I bought it actually in 2018. But I think it's my oldest. I think it's the oldest fleece. At least it's the oldest fleece that isn't already had something, carded, because I have a box of carded bats in the garage too. But I've been just putting batches of it into the crock pot and pouring on some dye when I'm out in the backyard doing stuff, and set my timer so I don't forget. Then I leave it in overnight. Just let it do that for a few hours and then turn it off and let it cool. And so I have a lot of this gray fiber that has now been dyed, and I've been carding it. Got a box of bats. I poured a little, most of the dyes had been like blue, teal, turquoise, green, in that color family.
Mm-hmm.
And then yesterday I put some fleece in and poured on a red and a purple. Basically it came out red. So I'm not sure what happened to the purple, but so I've got some like red and gray to throw into the mix. So that's just a sort of random dyeing and carding project. I've been really watching, two of my friends from work, Emily and Sonia, they just both fairly recently got carders, and they've been carding all kinds of stuff together and spinning it up. And I thought, that looks like fun. You know, I tend to think of a carding project as, I'm going to card this whole fleece. That's what I've been doing, you know, in the summer spinning. And I thought, oh, you know what? I'm just going to make just small batches and card in small batches and have some just colorful fleece bats to spin. So that's what I've been kind of trying to do with this project.
Okay.
And then the last thing I'll talk about, the maple vest. I don't think I said anything about it the last time. I think this happened between the last time and now. I don't think I'm going to have enough yarn. In fact, I'm sure I'm not going to have enough yarn. I might have enough yarn to finish the back and then use a different yarn to do the neck, you know, the band, the neck band and the arm bands. But I'm not even sure I have enough yarn to finish the last repeat on the back. So I'm thinking, you know, am I going to find a different color yarn, a contrast color yarn for the neck and the arm banding? Am I going to find something close? I could spin something close. I mean, I'm sure I have something that's similar to this brown color, but that puts the project on the way back burner. I looked, you sent me a skein of yarn that's like a rose color, really pretty, that I thought, okay, that would go really well. I could use that for the neck and the armbands, but I'm still not sure I'm going to be able to get the whole back done. And then I thought, well, I tried it on and it's a little bit large. And I thought, well, maybe I could have gotten away with the small. The armholes, for example, are very low on my body. So maybe I could have gotten away with the small, and that would save me some yarn. And maybe I could, you know, not run out, or at least be able to do the front and back with the same, you know, with all of that yarn, and then still have the problem of the arms. I don't know. Or maybe it's just not meant to be. We'll have to decide. I'll have to let it sit, and it will tell me.
Yeah.
So,
and we talked earlier about this a couple of days ago. You're okay ripping it out.
Yeah.
Sort of. I mean, you had actually, when we talked, you were sort of resigned yourself to it and were okay with it. But now you're thinking maybe there might be a way out of not.
Yeah.
You're still okay with ripping it out, though.
Yeah. And even if I'm okay either way. If I, you know, decide, okay, I'm going to do something different, or if I rip it out and knit it again in a smaller size, you know, or try this pattern again with a different yarn. So, I really like the pattern, and I used yarn that I had, but I also could, you know, I don't think I want mohair, because it's with a skein of that kid silk haze, I think is the way the pattern goes. I'm not totally sure about that. But yeah, it's made of two strands held together. So I may just do it in something else. But I don't know. You could just use, because you're using 2 strands of your hand dyed,
you could use just one strand of your hand dyed and carry it along with something else. Like, as I know the pattern, you don't want to do mohair, but you carry it along with some other yarn that's, because this is 2 fingering weights, right? I mean, well,
it's a fingering weight plus a lace weight.
Okay.
Which it says equals a sport. I don't know. Yeah.
But I wonder if you could just rip it out, use your yarn as one color, and then either spin something else that coordinates with it, if you like, or and hold that, or buy something. I always feel like if you have hand spun, you shouldn't combine it with commercially made.
Right.
Why do I say that? I have no idea. But you've got all that work making the hand spun. But I mean, that's another idea, is you could just combine it with something.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's fingering weight about light fingering weight to light fingering weight. The yarn, this Shetland yarn is. So yeah, hard to say. But I'm not too worried about it. It will either become that yarn will either become something else, or I'll do it again. The back has like 2 repeats in the band, the bottom band, and the front has 1 repeat. So I mean, that's the thing about shortening it, is that you really have to be strategic, because you have these repeats. You can't just go until you run out. And so that's, just something to think about.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it looks like there are a lot of people who maybe haven't made it quite as much, haven't done the double, haven't done the back panel twice as long as the front panel. So anyway, my sad woe of the, except I don't feel too sad about it. It's just one of those things I have to figure out. That's it.
Yeah.
That's the end of my projects.
Okay. Well, I think the only other thing we need to talk about is the summer spin. Why am I saying that? Summer spin and winter weave along is underway. It ends March 31st, and well, you've got. Oh, I know your curtains. Are they on the? Have you warped the loom for your curtains? Or I know you texted me that you had wound the warp. Where are we, Kelly, on that? Because I noticed that was not actually in your.
Yes, because I said in the last episode that I couldn't remember. The last episode was blah 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 trailer curtains. I'm not allowed to talk about them until they're done. But I will tell you, I had to order yarn. I did I started the warp. The last time we talked, I had started the warp. I continued the warp the next day and ran out of the warp yarn. So I ordered more, and it was supposed to come on the 24th of November or something like that. And it was held up. The shipping was coming from Massachusetts. Vovstuga is where I bought it from. And it was just held up and held up and held up, my tracking number. And Robert's like, well, because there's storms going on. So anyway, yesterday it finally arrived. Yeah. The yarn arrived. And so I'm back in business. I ordered what I think is more than enough. So that shouldn't hold me back again. And then when I ordered the yarn, I could have sworn I had lease sticks that were the right size for my floor loom. But the last couple of times that I've woven, I have dowels that I've used, and then I have lease sticks that are too long that I've used. So I just, they're just sticking out from the side of the loom. And then as I move from the front of the loom to the back of the loom, I have to go around them and sneak around the edge, and because the room's not that big. And anyway, I just thought, you know what, Kelly, don't be ridiculous. Buy yourself some lease sticks, the right size. You deserve it. So So I have a nice new pair of lease sticks that match, that are 36 inches that for my floor loom. And like I said, I could have sworn it came with them, but I don't know. I don't know if it did. I don't know where I put them. I don't know where they went. I don't know where they are, because the only ones I have are dowels, which is not quite. They work, but they're not quite the same. And the ones for the giant Maycomber. So anyway, I am hoping to be able to do some warping today. Honestly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Both of us. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, we've got Christmas decorations to put up. Robert went and got the tree because we have a faculty holiday party on Thursday here. So I need to get all the decorations up before then. And then we're having a cookie exchange that's open to the whole college, because we're only about a block or so away from the campus, and just have people drop the cookies off on their way to work and then come back either on their lunch break, their lunch hour, or a break, or after work. So, and the nice thing about having it here as opposed to having it at school is I can serve eggnog.
Oh, the famous eggnog.
The famous eggnog, yeah. So Robert's got his eggnog supplies. He's getting his eggnog supplies ready, and he's got the tree, and we're going to decorate the tree today sometime. And so, yeah. Anyway, nice. But I am hoping. I wasn't going to talk about it till they were finished, but I am planning before the end of the weekend. I'm going to be finished winding the warp for the trailer curtains.
All right, I won't ask you about it then. Going forward, I'll just wait for you to tell me about it.
So I will say,
when you're ready.
Yeah, I will say that we had said last time between now and then we have a weaving challenge for people if they want to accept it. Should you choose to accept it? What? That was from
I don't know.
A very old TV show. Someone will.
Isn't that Mission Impossible?
Oh, maybe.
Isn't it Mission Impossible?
So it would have been your mission, should you choose to accept it.
We might be wrong. Our listeners will tell us if we're wrong. Please tell us if we're wrong and what is the correct show.
Yes. Like we learned about New York, upstate. What is upstate New York and what is not upstate New York?
Yes.
We have.
I was ignorant of my geography.
Well, yes,
so we learned a lot.
We all are, I think, about places where we are from, So anyway, challenge. Do a kind of weaving that you haven't done before between now and January 1st. So it could be a new weave structure. It could be a different type of loom. It could be a different kind of finishing. It could be sewing with your woven fabric. It could be making shoelaces. Anything that's new to you that you'll end up with some kind of new weaving skill by the end of 2024. So I
have to admit, I'm intrigued. Kelly, I don't mean to interrupt you, but I'm intrigued by the idea of hand-woven shoelaces.
Yes. This
intrigues me.
Yeah, it would be a quick project. What I was thinking of doing, although I'm not sure this is the right project to do it on, but the trailer curtains that I'm not supposed to talk about, I have to do, I'm doing 2 separate warps, right? But they're going to be wound the exact same way. They're going to be the exact same width. They're going to be the exact same threading pattern. So one of the things that you can do in weaving, instead of cutting it off, you just leave it through the heddles. You cut it off, but you leave the threads all through the heddles. And then you take your new warp and you tie each thread to the thread that's already in the heddles. And then you can pull, and then you just pull it through a little bit more, and then you get started. Right? So you have less waste. Right? You don't have all of the loom waste that you cut off. So I'm debating about that. I've never done that before. I've just rethreaded. And one of the reasons I've rethreaded is it just seemed like it would take just as long to tie each thread individually onto another thread.
Mm-hmm.
But the point of it, I guess, really isn't so much about the time of threading. Although, let me just say this. Once you know there's not a mistake in your threading, it will save you the time of finding and correcting errors, because I almost always have a threading error that I have to correct.
Mm-hmm.
So it might take the same amount of time to touch every thread and tie a new thread to every old thread. But if you do that tying correctly, you don't have any threading errors that you then have to fix. So I might do that. I've never done it before. I might do that since I am going to make the same project twice, basically, with these trailer curtains. But I'm a little leery of doing something new on this particular project that I just want to get finished with.
Right. I can understand that.
So we'll see. I may just, I'm not sure. I may not take that chance. I may do a different kind of challenge. So, so the thing I want to make after the trailer curtains, which is one of the reasons I want to get them done, is the set of dish towels that's on this month's hand woven is beautiful. Beautiful. Blue and red. They were designed with the color of a bluebird in mind. And so they've got this vibrant sort of tomato red color with the blue and gray, like 3 different colors of like a dark blue, a light blue, and a kind of a gray blue. Anyway, really pretty. And I'm excited to make that pattern. So I don't want to prolong the agony of the trailer curtains. Yeah. So with a potential problem, I'm not sure I'm that courageous. So, so anyway, but lots of things people can try. Love to have you join us, show us your projects on the Ravelry thread. We've had a few new people pop in there to talk about what they're doing, and I love that. So please do come talk with us, come chat. If you are sort of on the outs with your social media these days, like so many of us might be, the Ravelry discussion forum is a really good place to just have a nice, positive, creative, inspiring conversation with people. Yeah. All right. I think that's it, Marsha.
All right. Okay. Well, I'm going to go do dishes now.
Okay.
And never ending. Walk the dog and wind a warp.
Yes.
I'm going to get going on that today.
All right.
So, okay.
Well, good luck.
All right. Well, I will let you go. Belated happy Thanksgiving. I'm glad you're going to be able to do some crafts today. And
I'm just looked out the window.
What's going on downstairs in my house?
Well, I'm going to go.
I'm sorry. Say that again.
I'm going to go and see what's going on downstairs at my house too, because I just realized that Robert has just brought a second truckload of straw bales. So I think he might be building barn hunt tunnels in the backyard.
Oh.
I saw one batch of straw go.
Pictures of.
I saw one batch of straw go back there, and I thought, oh, he's covering mud. You know, there's areas where the yard is a little bit muddy, and we've used straw before to kind of, cover the mud for the winter in some of the areas where we don't have wood chips. Or to cover his vegetable garden, I thought that's what he's doing. But with the second batch, I'm wondering if he's actually building tunnels, building a barn hunt tunnel. So yeah, I'll take a picture. All right.
Okay. Yeah, I'm interested. I want to see pictures of this.
Okay.
And then video of the dogs.
Okay.
Well, also, Kelly, you need to find some rats to put in these tubes.
Oh,
right?
well, that part is not happening.
Or you just put treats in there for them to find, or
they won't be finding anything. They'll just be practicing going through the tunnel.
Oh, okay. All right.
Unless I got some new pets, they would not be doing any finding.
Okay, no finding, just practice on tunnels.
Yes,
then.
just getting used to going through tunnels. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right, we'll go check it out. I'm going to go see what's happening in my house.
Okay.
With all the noise. Okay, alrighty.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much for listening. To subscribe to the podcast, visit 2usfiberadventures.com.
Join us on our adventures on Ravelry and Instagram. I am Better in Motion, and Kelly is 100 Projects.
Until next time, we're the 2Us
Doing our part for world fleas.